on the planet are having a more difficult time surviving and staying balanced and centered than others. There are several individual reasons for this. However, there are some patterns that are apparent as to why some people are targeted over others for implants or tags. It is important to have the information on this in order to have the power to recognize and get rid of mind control implants and tags that may exist within yourself, as well as in others around you. What is an implant? An implant is a mind control device planted in the physical or etheric body of a person that allows for triggering emotions, thoughts, words, and actions. Until a person begins to be aware of what is happening with mind control, most of the time the only clues that people have are a loss of memory of doing or saying something that is not typical. Sometimes there could be an unexplained loss of time or a blackout. Everyone incarnated on the planet is susceptible to this programming at one level or another. There are more complicated levels of implants that are sometimes put into those who are awakening from the programming in an effort to keep them asleep. There are also extra implants put into people that have purer royal bloodlines in their DNA genealogy that are of interest to the Illuminati. Starseeds are targets because they came here to help planet Earth at this time free herself from negativity. Many of these implants are done at birth. Others are done through abductions. An implant is a mind control device planted in the physical or etheric body of a person that allows for triggering emotions, thoughts, words, and actions. Until a person begins to be aware of what is happening with mind control, most of the time the only clues that people have are a loss of memory of doing or saying something that is not typical. Sometimes there could be an unexplained loss of time or a blackout. Everyone incarnated on the planet is susceptible to this programming at one level or another. Types of implants. There are three basic types of implants that I am aware of. There are probably more, but I can only share what I am familiar with at this time. They are the brain, physical implants, and etheric implants. Everyone on the planet that is an incarnated human has at least one type of implant in their body. Implants are used in mind control to keep the human population subservient and obedient. The brain barrier of the two hemispheres is the one implant everyone has, and is inside of the corpus callosum. The mind control programming forces most people into living from the left side of their brain more than the right. Living from the left side makes a person rely on logical outside information from books, schooling, and anything else related to programming. Living from the right side means being connected to the wisdom within you and includes creativity, intuition, and love-based emotions like compassion and empathy. Not to be stereotypical, but the programming in males has purposely made them feel like they should be strong and macho from the left or thinking side of the brain. Women tend to be more emotional and feeling from the right side of the brain. Things that have helped to balance the two are based in creativity and love, like the arts and healthy relationships. There is a lot of evidence these days of more and more people coming into a balance and harmony naturally. The pineal gland is the gateway to the astral realm and is usually a place that can be implanted as well, as this is where visions and ideas can get sent to a person. Astral travelers are almost always tagged, like the game of chase where they say tag, you're it, and I will explain tags further in a bit. By exiting the body through the pineal gland, a person is basically yelling I'm here, and I want to play. While this is not always a bad thing, the problem is that most people do not have a clue how they can get a tag just from astral traveling, which must then be dealt with. Physical implants are inserted into the physical body. There are various forms of these. The Greys have implanted chips into certain people. These can be tracking devices and trigger implants. Since there is mind wipe technology available, there is opportunity for implants to be inserted by anyone with this technology and the person would not remember anything. Chemtrails have nanoparticles that may either have implants in them or trigger existing implants. and these are taken into the lungs and then into the bloodstream. Water and food have chemicals and nanoparticles that can serve the same purpose. Etheric implants are in the etheric energy body and can be triggered as well. They can make diseases manifest in the physical or can trigger emotions that create energy that can get stuck and then manifests as pain or disease. Some etheric implants are called tags and can function as a red flag, a mind control device, or can cause physical pain or disease in the body. What is a tag? The majority of the population is implanted because of the inherent modifications to the human body done by the Anunnaki, as well as the insertion of other implants that are a part of keeping the human population compliant with the program. A tag is an energetic implant from the astral realm where a person is marked like cattle. There is a percentage of the population that gets tagged from an early age just because of who they are. For those who are starseeds or if you have a royal bloodline that is more conductive to the Illuminati DNA match, you probably have been tagged for the government to keep an eye on. Tags are like having a flag flying around that says, "I could cause your astral matrix a big problem." Another tag can be considered a mark of the beast, but with an opposite definition of what has been defined in religion. Religion makes it sound like you will be tagged by Satan if you do not follow religion, but the truth is that following religion will provide you a nice shiny tag. A tag is also tied to the programs that are created to try to start splitting up the human population for the different families to lay claim to. Humans are nothing more than energy source slaves to them. People idolize stars on television or in music that belong to a certain family, and are unknowingly giving their energy away to these groups. A tag allows the groups to claim their harvest and is very much run like a mafia operation. Those who choose money, power, and greed are aligning with a certain group that has no compassion or empathy for the starving people on the planet. A person is usually tagged if they choose to place their energy in a spiritual or even New Age ideology in which they begin to follow a guru or a certain ideology. Giving your energy away is actually another part of the trap used to siphon energy off a human. There are too many traps to describe in this article, but I'm sure you can see many of them if you just look around. Besides trying to claim us for various groups, multiple tags can be inserted that have different meanings. For example, a whistleblower may get a tag that alerts the Illuminati to direct government or police to try to arrest them, or worse, under the new terrorist act laws. Also, a person may be tagged because they live with a whistleblower and can be triggered in order to be used to turn against that person, which causes havoc and pain in their lives. There are addiction tags as well that allow a person's aura to be compromised. Drugs, sex, alcohol, food, and porn are everywhere for a reason. These tags keep them coming back for a substance or feeling that is usually aimed to eventually lead to self-destruction. In order for you to be tagged, you would have to have put your energy into something, which is consent. Sometimes that is done without our knowledge through our language. The English language was set up for this purpose, although ultimately all languages are used for black magic spelling. Anyone praying to a religious god of the Bible is giving their energy away to the Archon God family. Whether you call it Lucifer, Unyo, Anunnaki, Draco, Grey, or Reptilian, they are all a part of the same family that requires energy to survive. This type of tag also allows for a person to be hypnotized deeper and deeper into this belief system. Another astral tag that they can put on you is in a spiritual initiation where you are convinced that you are receiving a higher level of learning or healing powers. While the person may receive these things as an exchange for allowing to be tagged, again, it is most likely the astral realm that they are dealing with. The more initiations and following, the more tags a person can receive. As soon as a tag is placed, that group that tagged the person gets to start feeding off of the energy. You can bet that they will want to tag you in order to not only get source energy from you, but also to send programming to you that will give them a chance to keep you from exiting from their matrix prison that they have kept us in. Source has allowed free will in this universe, so if you are freely giving your energy away, they are allowed to take it. If they can trek you into a heaven or a new earth in the astral realm matrix, they will lure you there as well and provide a body for you to eventually reincarnate into. You can begin to see how everything you need is already inside of you makes more and more sense. Thus, if you were to go within, you would not be giving your energy away. If you had been told of astral tags and implants without the understanding that you have now of the matrix, you may have not understood it or outright rejected the information in fear that you had been affected yourself without understanding why. Although all of this seems rather horrendous, it really is just a part of the matrix program, and we are changing things by the millisecond here on the planet. It is not my intention to freak you out if this is the first time you have read about this. If you feel that this article is fear-mongering, I assure you that it was not written to do that. There is no fear in the truth. Most of humanity has an infection and we are healing ourselves and the planet in one way or another in order to shake it off. Mind control is the name of the game. There is information on the internet about MK Ultra, Monarch, and other forms of mind control used by the government in order to trigger people into doing and saying things. One of the places the indoctrination begins is in the military. Some say that the mandatory vaccine received in the military has things in it that go above and beyond the general public's programming and can be triggered with various technologies. The archons control the government who controls the people. The government uses people to peer into the future timeline possibilities to try to gain intel on who will be a troublemaker in the archons' plans. Then they time travel in order to try to make that person choose a different outcome in their lives, as well as implant or tag them. Then mind control techniques are used mostly to try to keep their vibration low or to cause dissent with people around them. Andrew Basiago is one person that has come forward with his story about this topic about Project Pegasus. Here is a video with a brief introduction to this topic, but there is much more on his website as well. Again, take what you need and leave the rest. There is much to be learned from personal experience, although just like with anyone, most of the time, we do not have a clue what is real and what is a part of the matrix. How to dissolve implants and tags. Awareness is the first step in healing yourself of these energies. After all, we are living in a light illusion matrix hologram where everything is made up of energy. Continue to observe, and when you feel a trigger on you, or if you observe it in someone else, stop, drop, and ground. Yes, I just made that up. Although this is not a laughing matter for most people, especially those who are being targeted, the two things that have worked for me in moving out of the matrix are love and humor. When you see the circus unfold in front of you, sometimes the only thing that keeps you sane is laughing at it. Of course you have to use your discernment with each situation. You wouldn't want to laugh hysterically in a courtroom and then be taken in handcuffs to the psychiatric ward. Implants can be purposefully neutralized by being grounded and connecting with the planet, for her energies balance out both sides of the brain and strengthen the right side functions to allow for more access to intuition and source energy. The now moment is a balanced connection with the mind and spirit. Any kind of creative arts held in a loving vibration can put you in the now moment, like painting, singing, sculpting, writing, and similar things that you enjoy doing. Being centered and grounded in the now moment can neutralize most implants because your vibration is raised out of the range of frequency of these devices. Implant and energy healing professionals. Some tags can be removed by the person by making a declaration that you do not consent for any implants or tags and you demand their removal. Some can be removed by energy workers who help to rebalance your own energy field so that it can correct itself of any foreign objects or energy. You can also do this energy work on yourself by using your imagination and power of intention. A personal declaration for reinstating your sovereignty can not only dissolve implants, but can revoke any contracts you have signed under duress or trickery. Bradley Loves has an excellent declaration of non-consent which pretty much covers the bases, and goes into detail about public notice. We are much more powerful than we realize, but if you need some help, then the majority of all implants and tags can be either neutralized or removed with the help of an expert. It is a tricky thing to try to suggest an energy worker for someone. Energy workers themselves have tags and implants, and some do not clear themselves. However, if a person is very ill or very confused and is being manipulated, it becomes difficult, if not impossible, for them to bring themselves into the centered, now moment of love. This is where a professional energy worker can help. I have not personally hired any professional implant removers, so I am hesitant to give recommendations to anyone if I haven't tried it myself. I do have a few suggestions though, and you will have to use your own discernment as to what works for you and what doesn't. I have read the reviews of one person by the name of Alexandra Meters who has had some experience and recommendations. Another website that I have heard good things about is Cameron Day. Cameron has a free self-help mini course with guided meditations that may be of interest to you. Another way to heal from this negative energy is through an organic shaman. These people have been working with the planet for many lifetimes and they know how to help you recognize and clear these energies. Again, I have no personal experience with either procedure, so I am not recommending anyone directly. If you are a professional implant remover, please contact me so that I can take a look at your procedure. The more aware you become, the more your spirit will work with you to heal your personal blueprint. This method, as well as connecting with the planet, has worked best for me, but some people truly get so tagged from giving their power away that they need a little extra help. Sometimes people just simply do not stop and take the time for themselves to do the work. Starseeds and royalty. A starseed is the term used for those who heard what had been happening on Earth and agreed to come here from other planets, galaxies, or universes, in order to help from the inside out. They have incarnated into human bodies and are awakening to their role as helpers, healers, and teachers when they are called upon. Royal bloodlines are those that have more DNA of a particular species in them, rather than a plethora of mixed DNA from interbreeding throughout history. A particular race of ET can only incarnate into a body that will match up, and thus it needs to keep the bloodline pure in order to be able to do this. These pure bloodlines are the Illuminati who control the masses at the direction of the Archons. Rampant sex causes interbreeding on the planet, and this has been used against the benevolent races that do not choose to control humans, as their bloodlines are becoming more and more intermixed. The Illuminati will do anything, including killing impure specimens and interfamily breeding, even if it is brother and sister or parent and child. Some starseeds and royalty could have implants that are deeply embedded into the spinal cord. One kind of tag looks like a black octopus. These implants can be removed by a professional, although as we continue to wake up and learn how to ground and center with the planet and state our sovereignty, eventually these implants will not be able to exist in the frequency and will dissolve. There is a plan. The more you stay in the now moment outside of space-time, the more help you will receive to know how to remove these implants. The implanting and controlling of humanity in order to trick them into making choices with their free will not be allowed to happen anymore. Rest assured that there is a plan in place that will help humans to be able to make informed choices, as the barriers are dissolved. This article is a general representation of implants and tags. There is much more that we aren't being told about the parasitic nature of the Archons. They have given orders to government to use technology on us in order to keep us in compliance and obedience. They have the ability to wipe our memories just like in the movie Men in Black, and what they are doing has gotten so far out of control that it is going to have to stop. Once the military, government, and police slaves wake up to what they are doing to their fellow humans, we can really get ahead in this game. If you are currently suffering, I do not take your situation lightly. Apparently you have a very important mission to do, and I feel like there will be a cosmic wild card that will help move you to the next level. If you do not have any illness or problems at this time, congratulations on healing and combating the attacks. You have either had outside help or have lived a life of choices in love, which have allowed you to be impervious. If you are somewhere in the middle, I am proof that you can heal yourself, and I want you to know there is hope. It does take hard work and a lot of focus. Try to use a laughter, as it is true that it is the best medicine. This article is not meant to instill fear or hopelessness. In fact, I hope for the opposite effect. The more people who know about this, the more people will be able to break free and help change the timelines along with the planet to reach a point where none of the technology will work on us anymore. When one person breaks free, it collectively impacts all of humanity. This will allow us to break free completely out of their timelines altogether. Depending on layers of implants and tags, it is fairly easy to work on them yourself. Love is more powerful than their technology. Spend plenty of time loving yourself and you will see layer upon layer break away. It does get easier, and I wouldn't be here writing this article if it wasn't possible. I have learned to recognize when they trigger my family or those around me, or when I am triggered to self-destruct, such as having a craving for something that is not good for my body. I am aware of my own thoughts and actions, and I am working on being the only entity in charge of my physical vehicle. We really are doing this whether we realize or not as we awaken. The more people that simply uncover that there is a program, will remove the curtain and expose the programmer. This will bring this atrocity to an end, because there is no place for the programmer and its workers to run and hide. Knowing this information makes it easier to forgive yourself and others for words and actions that are hurtful. There are two sayings that truly make sense in this application, and they are, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. Luke 23:34. Don't take anything personally. Don Miguel Ruiz. The world was not too long ago full of mind-controlled zombies. There is proof that things are rapidly changing right in front of you, especially the fact that you are awake and reading this article. On the other side, we have already won this battle. Now we are working on the best possible outcome for all of humanity and the planet. Editor's note. I put links to Andrew Basiago's Project Pegasus video, as well as the Gnostic Archon parasite removal and prevention video, and a sample of a declaration of non-consent, down in the description box below this video.